Sorry, you guys got an earful of me slurping my coffee just then. Hello, welcome to this sketchbooking video. Yeah, I just wanted a quick kind of single day video that I could film so that I can get a video up this weekend. Today is Tuesday, and I wanted to get this out on Friday. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Hello, take a seat, get a drink. I have coffee because it's 9 or something. And yeah, we're just gonna have a cozy little time sketchbooking together while I talk at you. A lot of people have been saying, or like at least what I'm picking up from feedback on my vlogs, is that people enjoy me drawing or sketchbooking or making art or whatever while rambling. And that whole vibe is, you know, kind of creates like a cozy little hangout atmosphere. So sure. Let's get started. So yeah, this is the sketchbook that I'm going to be using today. I forget when I got this. It was a couple years ago at least, and I was really stoked on how wide it is. And as you can see, like I have filled in a decent amount, but in practice, it's not very viable, especially if I'm like going somewhere to sketchbook, because it is, you know, quite chunky and quite large versus like my travel moleskin that I use everywhere. But I've already written sketchbook number 10, although it's like kind of faded out. I've already written sketchbook number 10 on here. And if we're going in order with my sketchbook tours, I have like a couple more sketchbooks before I can, you know, I get to this one and I have to show this one, and I still have more than half of it to fill in. That's what we're focusing on today. I'm just going to be using so this is a smudge guard. A lot of people asked what this was, I think in my like Japan vlog. So yeah, it's literally just a 2-finger glove because I'm left-handed, and you know, obviously if I'm drawing this way, my hand can smudge, but I can also see why it would be useful for a right-handed person. And then I'm just going to be using pencil and eraser. So this one, again, I've gotten some questions about it. This is a Graph Gear 0.7 Pentel with B lead, I believe I'm using. And it's just a Tombow mono eraser. Yeah, I'm just on Pinterest now, gonna be looking for some references. As you guys know, I love figure drawing, so that's kind of what we're gonna be doing today. If you're following along in sketching, you can look for the same kind of stuff that I'm drawing and draw along, or just draw whatever you want, girl. So something that I really love drawing, I love drawing old people at the beach. Old bodies. Yeah, I think typically like I'm so used to drawing like, you know, pretty girls and but figure drawing based on bodies that are like not conventionally attractive, or, you know, always doing the same thing with like the bodies that you do draw. First of all, it's really good for like studying and like character drawing and like practicing different kinds of variations of body types and things like that. But also like old people in particular, they tend to be, you know, a little saggier, a little wrinklier, a little more interesting, you know, compared to what I typically draw, or what comes to mind, what I'm used to drawing, like what my comfort zone is. And yeah, old people at the beach is like a perfect little prompt to search for. I find it's kind of hard to find specifically like figure drawing, like body references that aren't specifically like specific photography for figure drawing. When you search like figure drawing reference or whatever, it's usually, you know, the first thing that pops up is like those studio photos of models posed specifically for figure drawing in like different dynamic poses and stuff. And that stuff is great for like practice, or if you want specific references of like specific poses and stuff like that. But for me, I really prefer, like, I try to emulate like an actual figure drawing session if I was like out and about as much as possible when I draw from internet references. So that's things like people at the beach or like people at a park or just like standing around, not like specifically posed in any way, just very like candid. And to me, that's what I enjoy a lot more. Okay, I think I made her head too small, but whatever, fuck it, we ball. But yeah, I feel like growing up watching like anime and being influenced by like an anime style, especially in my drawings, you really only draw like a single kind of body type, and that starts to become your comfort zone. And like when you sit down to draw from imagination, that's kind of where you go, and it needs to be very intentional to break out of that. So doing figure drawing that specifically embraces these like other body types is super enjoyable if you ever think to take that step. Okay, I can't really see what her hands are doing. So, oh, okay, I see. So yeah, hi. Now that we're like a little bit settled in, I've talked about the art a little bit. I'm always not sure, especially in videos like this, where it's like specifically like an art making video, like a sketchbook session or like a draw with me or something like that. I never know to what extent I should be talking about the art that I'm doing and like art in general, art tips, versus when I can start to talk about anything else, like the type of stuff that I talk about in my vlogs. Because yeah, I know it's like valuable to hear about, you know, art and art advice, but you know me, I also like to yap and ramble about how I'm feeling and what thoughts I've been having. So yeah, I feel like lately I've been grappling with my growing audience, basically since my shop how-to video. Thankfully, it was a good video and lots of people are getting value out of it. Yeah, ever since that video, my channel has kind of been taking off. Not like a fucking rocket ship, but much faster than I ever expected it would. So I'm kind of trying to take things at stride. And I've been thinking a lot about like, I don't know, more people that watch you. Like I struggle with the idea of being perceived too much, which is kind of ironic because like I literally am so vulnerable on the internet and like share so much on the internet. But it feels safe, I guess, knowing that the stuff that I do talk about is very like open and real, I guess. And I guess anybody who is down to like listen to that and has the patience to listen to me ramble is kind of like chill and like, you know, I don't have to worry about as much. I think I would be more afraid of my audience, I guess, if a lot of what I was putting out was very specifically engaging and meant to get lots of views. But because I've started to create a larger following or like amass a larger following, I'm talking about a larger following, like I have tons of subscribers. I have 12,000 right now, maybe coming up on 13, but like I'm in the small tens right now, but still that feels like a lot. So, you know, and I know that I'm going to continue to grow. So that's the context in which I'm speaking. But yeah, I feel like the way that I've specifically made my videos and am in my videos, when I started taking YouTube more seriously, I think it's been like a year and a half ago now, I needed to just fucking be who I am. And so like knowing that, it kind of eases any anxiety of like, it helps ease anxiety initially when I was just starting out, knowing that like people that I knew would be watching my videos, because I try really hard to be the same on my videos as I am in real life. And I know that's a hard thing to do because it's like, you know, when you're recording, when you're performing, I guess, on a video, that's what it is. It's a performance. And there is a level of like, hey, I want to be likable. I want you guys to not click off immediately. I hope you guys like me. But yeah, knowing that like I was very specifically trying to not do that, because when I started taking YouTube seriously a couple of years ago, that wasn't my first go at that. Like I've had many eras of YouTube trying to like be a YouTuber and take off and stuff like that. But the thing that clicked in this recent try that has kind of resulted in the success that I have found is, you know, me just fucking making whatever I wanted and speaking honestly and trying to like not feel like I have to perform, I guess. Okay, hold on. I need to shut up so I can focus on the face. All right, the proportions are like way off, but What was I saying? Yeah, so like that's what I take comfort in as I grow. But at the same time, like obviously you can't control how people perceive you, and being a perfectionist, being somebody who's way too hard on herself, like most people, especially creatives, it's hard to grapple with that fact that I can literally just present myself as I am, and I have no control over how people will take that. And so like I'm trying to learn to let go of that fear and that anxiety around being perceived. But yeah, I do my best. I try to be a good person. I try to talk about good things that help people and that don't hurt people. That's the biggest thing. But at the end of the day, like I'm not perfect. And especially with the amount that I feel like I've grown as a person in the past few years, it makes me think how much more growing I have to do in coming years. So the state of who I am as I make every single one of my videos will continue to change, and the person that I show up as in each video is forever changing, if that makes sense, and it's not perfect. Yeah, I worry sometimes about, like, I've talked about this before on certain vlogs, but parasocial relationships are fucking weird. And I feel like often, I think I watched a video, I forget who was talking about this. I watch a lot of different video essayists, but somebody was talking about like why people feel so betrayed by their favorite creators when they, fuck up in some way. For example, when like people get canceled or something like that, because like their audience figures out that like, oh, actually they're not this perfect angel that I thought they were. And so, of course, like when you have a fave online or somebody that you follow, you want to assume that they are good and they have the same values as you do. So you kind of like, I feel like it's just human nature to kind of put your own values and your own morals on the people that you like online. And so when they show you that, that's not exactly how they are in reality, it feels like a betrayal because that's what you expected of them, I guess. And I do this too, like for example, when certain celebrities, like certain things about them come out, or, a lot of fans kind of come to realize that like, oh, this person that I love so much, their art and their like music or whatever has helped me so much in my life, and I grew up with them and all these things, and then you come to realize that like they're normal people and they make mistakes and they're human too, and they do bad things and they can fuck up. It's shocking and it sucks. So it's like it's hard not to put expectations on the people that you follow online, and I get that. And I do it too, and all of those things being true, I'm scared of that. I'm scared of disappointing my audience, especially as it grows bigger and bigger. Because I hope, everybody that watches me, like, gets to know me in a authentic way, in a way that I try to show myself in my videos. But, like, I'm very aware of, like, how different all of you must be, and, like, the different values that you have. And, like, my values might not necessarily match up with those, and that's okay. But I hope that there isn't too much weight placed there, that when, as I tend to, I'll probably talk about every fucking topic on the planet as I continue to make these videos, and my stance on things and my opinions on things will come to light. Sounds like I'm like hiding something. I'm not. Like, I think I'm a good person. I try to be. But yeah, the internet is a scary place, I guess, is what I'm trying to say here. Especially as a creator online who tries to be open and vulnerable. Sometimes that isn't actually what people want. So we shall see. I feel like I'm just overthinking it right now because obviously, we're vibing as of current. But I don't know. I feel like it's hard not to be paranoid about like being criticized and being dogpiled on in this day and age on the internet. Just seeing like how many people that happens to over like sometimes over really trivial shit. When it's not trivial, obviously there should be accountability, and that's where like cancel culture or whatever, internet pressure, audience pressure can be good, but it's a very fine line, I think, between those two things of like good accountability versus maybe let's, okay. So yeah, anyways, I hope that all made sense. I hope you guys are still watching. Okay, what's next? Let's do a old man at the beach. all that is to say, sorry, my brain is like continuing to think as I'm like not speaking right now. All that is to say is like, as an anxious person, it's hard not to be anxious about the power of the internet, because it definitely is like such a beast sometimes. And being open on the internet and putting yourself out there vulnerably is such a strange thing. Knowing that like literally anybody could watch it and you can be perceived by literally anybody who has an internet connection. And like, while obviously like that can lead to such beautiful connections and like there's so much good that happens on the internet, there's also a lot of not so good. And I just really hope that I can add as much as I can to the good side. You know what I mean? So, is this sketchbook session just gonna be me talking about what I'm fucking afraid of and like my anxieties? I hope that's like not depressing to hear, or like, I hope it's not like difficult to hear. But yeah, I also have been thinking a lot about like what I'm gonna do to manage this growth. And there is a certain level of fear of changing as a person the more audience that I get. And I think that's like kind of like a fear with no basis. It's kind of like an illogical anxiety, because I'd like to think that I'll stay who I am even as I continue to grow and as I start to make money doing this and whatever else. I'm speaking as if I expect myself to become like massive. I don't. And I don't even want that for myself. But it is like a worry of like, what if, you know, the more people that watch me, the bigger I get, what if I change? And I don't want to. I feel like it's so easy to say that, obviously, from where I am now. I'm literally just a girl. And like, you never know how your life will change, or like, you know, once you get more opportunities, if I start making more money, you know, like money is such a poison that can like fuck with people. And I'm like so aware of that. I kind of have like a stance on money of like, I don't want huge success monetarily. I live really comfortably right now, you know? For the most part, like I don't worry that much about money, and that I feel like is all I need. And I feel like it's easy for me to say that from where I am now, like I said. But, you know, as I grow and as you like make more money, maybe doing what I do, which already feels like such a blessing that like I do this and people watch it and I get some support from people, even just with their attention, it worries me that, you know, suddenly like once I start taking sponsorships, or, you know, I get more support once I like open my Patreon, or like, you know, stuff like that. It's so easy to be greedy. It's so easy to be greedy. And that's why like I'm kind of afraid of too much success. One thing at a time. I'm really bad for like worrying about things that aren't even fucking real. That aren't even real yet. Just like dumb, empty worries. But yeah, I don't know. As my life continues to change, and as, you know, hopefully I continue to grow and keep doing cool art things, I'll, you know, continue to talk about the things that are on my mind as openly as I can, because that's the one thing that I feel like grounds me, is being honest with myself and being open with you guys about how I'm feeling. And it's scary as fuck, but it's why I love making these videos, because I can just fucking talk about how I feel. And that's kind of the foundation of what my channel is. And I feel like what my audience, what you guys have come to expect from me. So I will continue to, you know, maintain that even as I grow, I hope. Okay, hand time. It's so interesting, like how my idea of YouTube and being a YouTuber has changed over the years. Because like I have, you know, wanted to do YouTube, or like dreamt of being a YouTuber since I was like in, I don't know, junior high school. And like growing up, it was like the Mark Crillies of YouTube that inspired me. And like I thought like being an art YouTuber meant doing tutorials. and doing like specifically art related content. So I tried that, and that didn't go well. First of all, I was young as fuck and I didn't know what I was doing. But also, you know, it wasn't what I enjoyed doing. And it felt like I was trying to fit into this mold that I thought an art YouTuber was supposed to be. And then so that didn't really, you know, go too far before I got bored of it or like, you know, gave up on it. And then, yeah, like as I continued to grow and continued to watch YouTube and all that, I would watch like the vloggers and the whoever else. My absolute favorite YouTuber in recent years before she stopped uploading was Best Dressed. If you guys watch her, she was my favorite. I loved her. I hope she's doing well, you know. But anyways, yeah, she was like my new standard of like what YouTube was and like what I wanted to do. And I wanted to like be a vlogger and like be entertaining and creative and whatever. And so I think it was like during school, during university, I made like a couple videos kind of with that new mold in mind of like trying to like be like aesthetic and like share my life and whatever. And then that didn't really work out because I wasn't, again, I was trying to be like somebody else and I was trying to like make videos in a way that I thought they were supposed to be now. And then, yeah, like, I don't know what clicked when I started making videos, like I said, about a year and a half ago, starting to take it more seriously and like being very intentionally open and vulnerable with it. It wasn't until then that, you know, something clicked and I actually wanted to be consistent with these videos and I wanted to, I liked making them. And it just felt like an extension of myself, I guess, rather than like me trying to fit into an idea of what I thought I had to be like, just based off of like the people that I watched. So yeah, it's very interesting. And I'm very grateful that like this is the way that it panned out. Because yeah, having to be, you know, having to put on an act even more draining than what I already do here. Because obviously, you know, talking to a camera, thinking of things to say, hoping that I'm not fucking up, hoping that I'm not saying anything stupid is a real weight on me. But, you know, I'm trying to do it in a way that feels the most natural and authentic to who I am as a person. So that helps. But yeah, there's our man. Okay, maybe I'll add some like background elements just for this page so that it's like cute or whatever. And then we'll keep going. I'm thinking, I kind of think green, but maybe yellow because it's the beach. No, I want green. Oh dear. Wow, this green shows up way darker than it does in my moleskin. Okay. Damn, I hope, you know, hi, if this is your first video of mine that you have just discovered, like, I'm just overthinking, I guess, in my head, like, why the fuck am I talking about my anxieties on this, like, random sketchbook video? I should be talking about all this on a vlog, where people know me. Anyways, hi, welcome. Alrighty, guys, let's do one more drawing. I think somebody commented on... Ow! Sorry, I just stabbed myself with my pencil. Somebody commented on a recent video, I forget which one, recommending that I try looking up flamenco dancers as figure drawing reference. And they just look so dynamic and cool and like the coolest poses, kind of insane. So that's what I think I'm gonna draw for this last figure drawing of the video. Let me find a good reference here and then we'll get started. Yeah, I love Spanish music. I guess like, I don't know, I'm not like super deep into any like niche artists or anything, but I really love Rosalia. She's one of my favorite artists. Everything she does is just fucking incredible to me. She's so talented. What a voice. Kali Uchis I like a lot as well. Obviously they're both super mainstream, but yeah, Rosalia, her music is like super based on flamenco culture and like flamenco music and stuff like that. So This is just looking at all these dancers is reminding me of that. But yeah, I think I've talked about this before, but like if any of you guys as like kids would peruse Newgrounds, that complete minefield of a website, there was a creator on there that would make like animated music videos of his like world was called CCC City, and he would make these like super vibrant animated like cool like storytelling videos kind of to Spanish music. And so I think I like watched a lot of that when I was a kid, and it was so cool. I was obsessed. I would like find those songs on like fucking LimeWire or something, or like rip them off of YouTube somehow. And I feel like that was what got me interested in Latin music from an early age. So I just realized I wasn't actually recording. So I hope that that little stint of just me talking was enjoyable for you guys. Okay, I found this one reference of a woman in like she's like in like a pantsuit kind of thing. And like a lot of the flamenco dancers that I'm seeing, at least on these references, all are wearing like the frilly, super like layered dresses. So this is really cool that this woman is in like it's kind of like the attire of like a bull guy. I forget what that's called, but very cool. So I'm gonna draw her. Any sort of pose with like arms up for some reason is so hard for me. So I feel like I really need to get a good base of like the structure down first before I am going to feel comfortable etching in the details like I kind of started with, just with those bodies on the beach. Plus with clothing, I feel like it gets a little more complicated. But yeah, I was thinking about like, so this is my last drawing of the video, and in my brain, I have such a bad habit of like expecting so much of myself, especially when it comes to videos. Like if I'm going to be doing a sketchbook video or like something where I'm drawing, it's hard for me not to feel like, okay, this needs to be at least like 3 sketchbook spreads, or it needs to be like a full day of sketchbooking in order for it to like be worthy of its own video and not just like a section in a vlog. So I'm really trying to like combat that, and I was doing a bit of research before filming this video just this morning, looking at like what other creators do for like their draw with me videos or like sketchbook videos, and like they really do not have to be that long. I just feel like especially with my vlogs, as you guys I'm sure are aware, like I feel like I need to make my videos like long and like an experience, you know? Because I feel like that's what I prefer in videos, is like when I sit down with a video and it's by one of my favorite creators or like people that I enjoy watching, like I want it to be long. I want to be able to like sit with it and like work on stuff and be able to like let it play on in the background without having to like figure out what I'm going to be watching next. I also like put on lots of playlists of videos of like certain creators that I'm kind of obsessing over at a certain time, and that's just like I don't know, it's comforting to me. So yeah, for that reason, you know, I feel like I put this expectation on myself to make all of my videos like long, I guess, unless it's like a travel video, because that's kind of just limited to the footage that I get. But I feel like I need to make it like an experience, you know? But I'm trying to tell myself that that doesn't need to be the case all the time. I can just do like a fucking 10-minute video if I wanted to, and that could be my release for the week. I feel like I struggle with, if I created this expectation of all of my videos being long, that literally I'm the only one who's pressuring myself to do that, then I feel like if I do put out a shorter video, I feel like I'm slacking in some way, you know? Or like I'm not putting in as much effort as I should be. But that's, obviously I'm being too hard on myself. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna shut up for a second because I need to focus on this face. Oh, I think I made her head too small again. Okay, let's try this again, actually. One thing that I really struggle with, and always have, is likenesses, like drawing portraits. It's very hard for me to like get somebody's face exactly right. I'm very comfortable, like, I don't know, drawing bodies from reference and things like that. But for some reason, when it comes to the face, like I really struggle. I cannot, I don't want to say I cannot, but like it's very difficult for me to get somebody's face right and to get their likeness down. I'm sure that has a lot to do with humans are very good at telling what a face should look like. Because, since we were born, all we do is look at other people's faces. So when a face looks slightly off, we can tell. Maybe we can't pinpoint like exactly what about the face looks off, but we can tell. And if the face like doesn't look exactly human, then it, that's where like the uncanny valley stuff comes in. So it's very tough. It's a very like high standard, I think, of like, I don't know, making a face look like a face and somebody's face look like their face, because it's so easy for us to distinguish what looks good and bright and what looks kind of off. So I feel like I struggle there. I met up with a couple friends from school the other day, from like when I was in uni. Hi guys, if you're watching. And it was so nice catching up. It made me so nostalgic for school and like being in art school and being in class and like learning and doing like the figure drawing classes and sessions and things like that. I really want to like look into live figure drawing in my city. I think there are like a couple that exist, or like even when I travel, I always kind of like take a peek at what figure drawing exists in whatever city I'm in. Oftentimes, the days that they do their figure drawing doesn't really line up with my schedule, but live figure drawing is a really valuable thing to take part in. So if you have, if you draw and you like figure drawing and you've never been to a live figure drawing class or live figure drawing session, I highly recommend doing a little Google and seeing what is in and around your city, what is accessible to you. Because it's some of the best practice, I think, is obviously better than drawing from a photo is drawing from real life. You have to use like a lot more different parts of your brain when you're, looking at an actual physical object rather than like a 2D flat image. But yeah, anyways, this figure drawing is just reminding me of school and how lovely that was. I kind of, I think back to school and I regret, maybe not regret, because obviously like I wasn't ready for it, but I wish I was ready at that time to like start doing YouTube as I am now. It would have been so cool to like document like how it was to go through school and everything. I think that's so cool, like especially when I see other artists on YouTube like that are currently in school documenting their studies and whatever else. It's just it's a very, I don't want to say entertaining, it's like a very engaging thing to watch maybe. I don't know, it's just extremely interesting and attractive to me in terms of like content or like subject matter for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm nostalgic for my art school experience, and that's why I'm drawn to stuff like that, but it is a shame. I do kind of have like a bit of a desire to go back to school at some point. I don't know when, like maybe later into my adulthood, if I ever have the opportunity, and I don't know if it would be worth it to even continue my education in like a formal way at all, like getting a master's degree, because that just seems very expensive. And for like what, I don't really need a master's degree for what I do. But even just to like do some continued education or like take a course in some other kind of craft or art related something that I have interest in, like printmaking or textiles, or take an actual like painting course. Yeah, I think education is so cool and such a great part of the human experience, is being able to learn things and be curious about new things. Unfortunately, like, the barrier to entry for a lot of that stuff is very high. It's not cheap, but if I ever find myself with an opportunity to do something like that, I would love to. And it would also be like a really cool thing to document, especially going back to school, I feel like being in school the first time around, there was so much stress. It was like, okay, this is like what I'm doing to kind of kickstart my career. So there's a lot of pressure. But going back to school as an adult and you're already, established in your career and you're kind of like working and whatever, feels like, you're back in school for the love of learning, or for for the pure curiosity of learning something new and developing a new skill. So yeah, that would be cool. But who knows? Who knows where life will take me or you? This paper is very like smudgy, especially like coming from drawing in my moleskin so much during like when I'm traveling, because the moleskin paper, if you've drawn in a moleskin before, moleskin paper is so smooth and so satisfying. It's expensive, but I don't know, kind of worth it, honestly, once you get used to it. It's hard to go back to non-moleskin paper. But also, like, I've heard good things about other brands of sketchbooks that maybe I'll want to try next. And so there we go. Last drawing of the sketchbook session. Ta-da! There it is, you guys. Maybe I'll put like a little caption. You literally can't read that, but it says flamenco dancers. So yeah, that's all. That's all for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did watch all the way to the end, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if, you know, we like this format. Let me know your thoughts on anything that I talked about. Hopefully it wasn't too like heavy or negative. I always kind of struggle with talking about like my worries and my anxieties too much. I know that it's like helpful and good to like hear like if you're going through similar thoughts or worries, it's, you know, very validating to hear somebody else talk about it. So that's good, but I hope that, you know, I don't ramble too much and like it doesn't get to a point where it feels like I'm just like complaining all the time. That's what I don't want. This was just what was on my mind, so that's what I talked about. Hopefully that was enjoyable. Hopefully it was still cozy, even though I was talking about literal anxiety. But yeah, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this. By the time that this video is up, my shop will be closed. So unfortunately, you know, if you were interested in buying something, you're gonna have to wait until it's open next. I don't know when that's gonna be, but I will obviously, you know, announce it when that happens. Otherwise, like I said in my last vlog, I'm going to be starting a Patreon soon. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know exactly when. I'll just announce it when it's like live, and then we can kind of figure it out from there. So that's all. Again, I feel like every time I end a video, I say thank you so much for watching like 5 times at least. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in a bit.